Hey guys, this is the Anime Fiend bringing to you today One Piece, and holy shit, man. I mean, ever since we crossed chapter 1000, it's been fire, right? But these last few chapters have been just freaking phenomenal, man. I mean, godly, man, godly chapters. But of course, this chapter had two major things, right? Of course, one is, of course, the huge, crazy revelations, and the other thing is the huge, crazy hype, right? These two things are like, oh my god. I mean, of course, the revelations being the actual original Wano from Void Century. I mean, from before Void Century. So, I mean, 800-year-old Wano actually having the road poneglyph. I mean, the Lord poneglyph there and Luton. Lord poneglyph, of course. Kaido and them found out because of Jack, and because it's submerged and Jack is a fisherman. People are making this out to be like a huge mystery, but it looks like, I mean, probably he got the devil fruit, after that, after that. Right? So yeah, it is what it is. But but yeah, Jack found out the Lord Poneglyph, but I guess they mentioned like Pluton, even Sukiyaki didn't know about Pluton. Like, he knows there is Pluton, but he doesn't know where or how to find it, or like whatever, right? So probably even Kaido and them didn't know much about the ancient weapon, so they didn't try to find Pluton and stuff, but they knew about the Lord Poneglyph, so they got that, right? So yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, these huge giant ass walls being erect and all that shit, like, yeah, people are mentioning it could be Pika's devil fruit. I mean, yeah, it could, I guess, maybe, but it could also be something else. And again, people are connecting this to maybe being red line, red line also maybe being erect, just like these walls. So I mean, these walls already is like a crazy feat, but red line is like insane. I mean, it's just on a whole different level, right? So I mean, it could be possible, because again, red line, it feels like it's not natural, but who knows, maybe it is, right? So whatever. But yeah, man, the ancient Wano, I guess you could say this is from, Ryuma's flashback, not flashback, his one shot, right? In Monster, people mention, like, oh, the old Wano, it was called the country of gold, right? So maybe, maybe that still applies to this one, right? Because, yeah, initially, one shot, we just thought, like, it's just a one shot, he didn't think that much then. And I'm pretty sure he didn't think that much then, but now, him connecting, making the connections and all that shit, maybe the original Wano could be called the city of gold, right? Maybe that's why it's like kind of illuminating, right? Because when Law and Robin notice that, they mention, like, whoa, what is that glow, right? What is that light? So maybe it is because it was gold, who knows, whatever. But yeah, yeah, whatever. So finally they got three Lord Poneglyphs, right? But my concern is, like, people are just revealing all these secrets to Law. Like, I mean, yeah, I understand Law has his own journey, so he wants to know all that shit, but, like, I mean, him, finding that shit on his own is one thing, and Sukiyaki and Robin just revealing everything to him is another thing, right? Because he's still a different, like, someone else. He's like, opposition. He's a rival pirate, right? So I don't know how these people are like casually revealing all this shit. Like, I don't know what his plan is. Like, is he done being an opponent? Is he like, is he just on this journey and he won't bother the Straw Hats? Like, what is going on? Does he want to win or no? So, like, what is happening? Because Kid definitely wants to win, right? He's still in the race, but Law, I don't know what's going on. Because, I mean, even initially Oda's statements about him is like, he never imagined Law to be this popular, right? So I guess Oda is kind of trying to incorporate him into the story more because people like him, I guess. So, yeah, whatever. But, you know, now getting to the hype moment, right? I mean, connecting the hype moment to, I guess, the ancient Wano is like them not opening the borders, right? As just like what Aramaki is mentioning, like, yes, until now, Kaido has been ruling and all this shit, but Kaido is the reason we weren't coming. Like, if Kaido would have been here, I wouldn't have come here. So, that reveals two things. One is like opening the border of Wano is like literal, and it's dangerous. It would be vulnerable, and the world government would be right on their asses, right? Like, as soon as they open, the world government is like, yeah, okay, it's time, right? It's time, boys. So yeah, it is. It's dangerous, it's like crazy, and you know just like Aramaki said, man, Kaido was the worst, but he was at least in a way, he was protecting Wano from other craziness, right? So, his rule was fi- his rule probably was the worst, right? Like, his rule, like, Big Mom is crazy, taking all the souls and shit, keeping people in fear, but at least people were living properly, right? They were living nicely. So yeah, I guess Kaido's was the worst. I guess you could say it could be the second worst compared to the Celestial Dragons, right? Like, they wouldn't even have a society. They would be like just slaves, just everybody, right? Ibisu town or whatever. They won't have a house. They won't be like, yeah, you guys work and you can go to your houses, right? They'd be like just work all the time. So I guess Kaido is the second worst, you could say, in a way, right? So yeah, whatever. But the main thing here is, of course, you can't open the borders right now. So I guess that decision is correct, right? Probably, Zunisha would like break the walls and shit. So, like Chris Jericho, I guess. But but yeah, so yeah, but eventually we know that once we find, we find One Piece and all that shit, the walls will have to actually break, and they'll unleash Pluton for whatever reason. The reason we'll definitely find out in Laugh Tale. So we'll see what's gonna happen there. But yeah, I guess it is what it is. But now talking about the Admiral versus the Scabbards and all these people. Of course, yeah, sure, Boro Breath damaged Aramaki. I'm pretty sure that's not much. That's like, he wasn't like thinking like these people are a threat, right? He wasn't like, yeah, come on. Even if we think the admirals are weaker than Yonko, which I agree, but that doesn't mean he's gonna get defeated by the Scabbards and Momo. So that's bullshit. But and of course Yamato wasn't even allowed to fight. So yeah, if we don't even count Yamato, so he was gonna wash them. But the point here is, him clearly mentioning like, if Kaido would have been here, I'm out, right? And as soon as Shanks comes in, and again, even to this, like, people are mentioning like Shanks is talking through his Conqueror's Haki. I don't think he's doing that, but it's basically he's projecting his Conqueror's Haki towards Aramaki, and Aramaki is like, he recognized, right? Of course, he has observation Haki, I'm pretty sure, and you know, he like, he noticed this is Shanks. Holy shit, this is an actual emperor, right? Like, Luffy is an emperor right now, but like, I guess it's like they still are kind of underestimating Luffy, right? Like, oh shit, I just realized this, right? Like, the world government, the Celestial Dragons, the Gorosei and the CP0 know that Luffy actually, like, it wasn't a 1v1, but towards the end, Luffy was 1v1ing Kaido, right? A weaker Kaido, but still 1v1ing, right? So the world government knows that, but I'm, I mean, it could be like the world government didn't tell the Marines, right? It could actually be like the Marines actually know what, the citizens know. Like, yeah, these three together took down Big Mom and Kaido, and all the, of course, it's not just these captains, right? Of course, they have all these subordinates and all this shit. So maybe the Marines still think like, oh, they, together came together, the whole alliance, they took down Kaido and Big Moms, but individually they're not that strong, so they're not a big threat. And again, it's just been a week, they're still damaged and shit. So maybe they're still underestimating them, right? So yeah, I mean, yeah, it could be like the Marines actually doesn't know, right? Like, it's the same as what happened with Rocks, right? We got to know that, yeah, Garp defeated Rocks, and then later on we got to know that, yeah, Garp along with Roger defeated Rocks, right? And everybody came to a conclusion like, oh, just Rocks and, I mean, just Garp and, Roger took out the whole Rocks. Like, everybody forgot about Rayleigh and all of his crew and whatever the subordinate Marines or whoever helped. They forgot about everybody, right? And Whitebeard could have like changed sides and all that shit. Like, everybody just dismissed that. Like, it's not just Roger and Garp like 2v everyone, right? It's not like that. So I mean, there's nuance. So maybe the world government didn't reveal everything to the admirals and the Marines, right? So maybe that's the reason Green Bull actually underestimated them. But of course, as soon as an actual Yonko that he knows is yeah, he is a true Yonko showed up, Aramaki just froze, right? And he noticed, oh shit, this is Shanks. Okay, and as soon as Shanks is like, okay, you guys, I'm not gonna call you cowardly, but this is pathetic, right? This is like this is like bullshit. Come on, they just made pirate history. They you can't just come in and just take them out after they like, it's basically like, okay, in WWE terms, it's like someone cashing in money in the bank right after you won championship at WrestleMania, right? So it's basically that. So yeah. So yeah, Shanks was like, come on, I'm not gonna allow you to do that. So yeah. Yeah, but again, so Aramaki, I don't think he spoke directly to Shanks, but as Shanks was like projecting his conqueror's haki, he was like, okay, all right, I know what the hell is going on. Sure, I'm not gonna fight these people. I'm just gonna leave. I don't want to fight you. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave. And he finally left, right? But now my most favorite panel in One Piece, right? I mean, in this chapter, not in all of One Piece, but yeah, my most favorite panel in this chapter, like, even after all of these like crazy revelations, this super awesome hype, I would say my favorite panel is when Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, and Jinbei, the monster trio, and Jinbei, right? They were just sitting there chilling. They knew Aramaki was here, and they were just casually sitting there because Momo said he wants to take care of it himself. So yeah, I guess they knew, because initially when the scabbards were rushing towards Aramaki, I was like, come on, I mean, others should know. I mean, if they knew, they should also know, right? So they knew, man. They knew. That panel is just beautiful. That's awesome, man. That panel was hype as whatever, right? And I mean, they were just sitting there, they were ready, right? As soon as Aramaki gets serious and actually damages these people, they would have jumped in. They were ready. So yeah, I mean, that's just awesome, man. That's just fire. That's crazy, crazy. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is, right? I mean, and of course, it's kinda almost confirmed that Yamato is leaving Wano, with or without the Straw Hats. I mean, I hope and I actually think it is with the Straw Hats. Maybe it could be kind of like, she's formally introducing herself. I'm Odin, I want to join you. And maybe Luffy is like, no, you can't join. And, Yamato is shocked. And of course, then Luffy mentions, like, I don't want Odin, I want Yamato because Yamato is awesome and Odin isn't here. So, yeah, maybe something like that. And fine. Like, of course, people mention like, oh, Yamato is a hollow character. There's no character growth at all. Nothing. Of course, there's nothing yet because she's a shut-in. She's an introvert. She's all her life she's just known that small tiny island and nothing else, right? So of course she doesn't know anything. There's no growth. Once she comes on with the Straw Hats and slowly she gets to learn, she'll know what what actually living is, what actually like, everything is, right? So yeah, of course growth is yet to come. Yeah, the development might not be that awesome because yeah, there was nothing, right? She was a shut in, she was just in that island. So development may not be that good, but the growth is definitely yet to come, right? It's gonna be just, yeah, it's gonna be awesome. So yeah, man, I mean, One Piece, man, it's just freaking phenomenal, right? So yeah, man, but anyways, that's it for the chapter. You guys comment down, what do you guys think about all of this crazy shit? What's gonna happen next? Whatever, just comment down. And yeah, man, just check out my manga recommendations. I mean, there hasn't been much lately, but yeah, there are the older ones. Check them out. And the next one, of course, is gonna be One Piece. After that, I'm gonna make the next year manga recommendations, and then I'll individually make each videos of those. So yeah, well, it's gonna be good. Please check it out, please. But yeah, do check that out. And yeah, man, as always, until next time, peace.